Hi, I'm Todd Alone with the upcoming federal election just around the corner. We're profiling the local candidates who are going to vie to be your MP. Today we're joined by Eric Duncan, who is running for the Conservative Party. Welcome, Eric.
Good to be with you, Todd.
It's a pleasure. Eric, explain to our viewers, for the ones who may not know Eric Duncan, about Eric Duncan.
Well, I've been honored to serve as a member of Parliament for the last 5 years for Stormont-Dundas-Glengarry. And our riding's getting a bit bigger. We're asking for votes in a larger area now in all of SD&G, with North Glengarry coming into the fold. And so I say extra places to get meals and miles in, which has been great, but the response has been great in the new part of the riding as well. I've been honored to serve as the MP for 5 years. Before that, I served as the mayor for the township in North Dundas, served as the warden of the United Counties of SD&G, and even had an experience as the chair of the Eastern Ontario Wardens Caucus. So I've been very blessed over my 37 years to have some great political experience that I want to continue to utilize to the benefit of those in SD&G.
And Eric, you're running again. Let's talk about some of the issues locally, first of all, that you think are important for our viewers to hear about.
Well, I think what is local is national. A lot of the things that we're hearing and we're talking about nationally do impact us here in Cornwall and SD&G. So affordability, cost of living, housing prices are the first thing that I hear at the doors when I'm out and about. People are concerned again about being able to pay their bills, putting food on the table, and just being able to get by. It's getting tougher and tougher. You look at our food banks, 2 million Canadians every month using a food bank in this country. And then that trickles down locally where Agape and the House of Lazarus, Salvation Army have all seen their rates nearly double, actually more than double in the last 4 or 5 years. It's not sustainable. So we're talking about affordability and providing relief to Canadians. Axing the carbon tax for good, no plan after the election like the Liberals and NDP want to replace it. We're talking about permanently ending the carbon tax at a lower cost, taking the GST off of new home builds. The list goes on about the ways we're going to be making life more affordable for Canadians, not increasing their taxes and making it tougher to get by.
We're also asking the question, Eric, in regards to tariffs. Obviously, it's front and center. A lot of people who are watching are concerned.
Well, and tariffs are, in my opinion, tax increases in one sense. We did not look for this trade war that Donald Trump has started with Canada and other numerous countries around the world, but we have to respond. So would not be in our playbook to get into this tariff war, but what it is it's increasing costs for Canadian families and American families, but we do need to respond. We do need to retaliate. We need to be in a very firm and a tough position when it comes to negotiating with President Trump and the American administration. But I'll just say this as well, 2 things. Any money that we collect from tariffs, Todd, need to go directly to helping industries and workers affected. No general government spending or things. It needs to be very targeted to help support those that are impacted the most. The other thing which is huge and very important is that we got to get on our own 2 feet. This has been a wake-up call. We've been too reliant on the U.S. economy, that big elephant next door to us. We can unleash our natural resources and energy production in this country, go out to our east and west coasts and do more business around the world. There's so many countries that are begging for Canadian energy and natural resources. It creates paychecks for us, creates better relationships and more relationships with other countries around the world. This has really been a wake-up call, and I believe our Conservative platform, we've been talking about this for years. The Liberals have been blocking it. We've been talking about doing this, and I think if we have the honor of forming government after the election, we'll actually get to see some things move on this and help firm up our position where we're at in contrast to the Americans.
Prior to the election being called, your leader obviously was in a very favorable position, 20 points plus. The media is making it look as if maybe your leader didn't speak up enough against the President of the United States. Maybe you can explain to our viewers how you see all this playing out.
Well, I go back and say we've been talking about all these things that would help us with the Americans for years. We've been saying getting energy projects and natural resources, getting them out to tidewater to our coasts, and dealing with more countries around the world that want to work with us. And Pierre's been very clear. It's only been the last couple of months that these tariffs have become a reality. We've been pushing back firmly, making ourselves more competitive, cutting income tax for workers and families to stimulate our economy. We have a whole capital gains plan where if you go and reinvest your capital gains in Canadian companies, you can forego and delay paying the capital gains because you're investing in Canada. We've had a ton of policies that just make sense and have been very well received. Part of my job as a local candidate is making sure people know that. And when they hear what our platform is, this light goes off and say, yes, that's exactly what we need to do to actually move the needle in terms of our relationship with the U.S. and very confident we can get that done as a Conservative government.
Now, Eric, obviously your party is looking to get into government. The Liberals have changed their leader. That seems to be a two-party race at this point, contrary to what other people may respect or say within the media. But your thoughts on how you folks can form government?
Here's the deal. The reality is the Liberals don't deserve a fourth term in office. Mark Carney was an advisor to Justin Trudeau. A lot of the same MPs and ministers and advisors that have been around are the same ones that created the mess for the last 9.5 years. We had our own domestic challenges, Todd, before this tariff threat with the US came along. And both the solutions we proposed on housing, on immigration, on spending, on taxes, on the carbon tax specifically, and now on what we can do to be less reliant on the unpredictable United States. Every time you took a look at our platform versus the Liberals, I think we're the ones with the fresh ideas. They're trying to copycat in some cases some of our ideas we've been talking about for years. So what we're just saying is if it's a two-way race, a three-way, whatever it may be, if people take a look at who's got the best platforms to actually, again, move the needle, get things done, not just performative and talk about it, but actually do it, I'm very confident that people will see a positive side and a positive vote for the Conservative Party of Canada.
And in our final minute, Eric, here's an opportunity to address the viewers of your riding and our riding. What would you like to say to them?
Well, I've been honored to serve as the MP for the last 5 years. It's a job I love every single day and the opportunity to do it. There's never a dull day, I say, in the job. But I've tried to conduct myself by being accessible in the community and having a real pulse of what people are thinking. I attend a lot of community events. I don't just door knock during election periods or go out during an election. I'm always out there trying to keep a pulse of what people are thinking so I can take that message to Ottawa. And at the same time, too, local representation matters. I take pride in our local constituency office in Cornwall, Morrisburg, and Winchester. We offer strong customer service. We try to be the example of what we want to have right across the riding.
Thank you, Eric Duncan. Eric Duncan, Conservative candidate for the upcoming federal election. I'm Todd Lalone for your vote on your TV.